Not that I'm an expert, I'm single, so I don't know if you should listen to my advice, but I'm just gonna talk from experience.
Yo, what is going on, Warband? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video, and on today's show, we're looking at a video submission through the Patreon about relationship advice and how to get a guy's attention. But if you're new here, guys, you're enjoying the videos, be sure to subscribe on your way in. Come and join the Discord if you haven't already. And if you'd like to support the channel, get some more videos, a great way to do that is through the Patreon. So come and join that if you'd like to. The link for that is in the description. But let's see what she has to say.
Obviously, you can fall in love and be in a relationship with whoever you want, as long as they're like not like freakishly old or freakishly young or anything like that. But if you're a girl into girls or a guy into guys or whatever, totally fine. I talk from my experience, so it's easier to talk about me being a girl.
Alright.
So I believe that you attract people into your life that are gonna teach you something, or they're gonna compliment what kind of life you're living, and they're gonna harmonically live beside you.
You know, when girls talk about attraction, right? The guys that they attract into their lives. You guys have all seen it before when a girl will say, "Oh, I always seem to attract blank kind of guy. I always seem to attract, you know, a man who has these qualities, a guy who's either usually it's a man who's terrible or you know, mean or treats her like crap, and they'll say, "Man, I always seem to attract these terrible guys. Where can I find a good guy?" Guys, it's not what they're attracting, it's what they're choosing to date. Okay, you have to understand that you as a man and myself, we will never have as much choice in the dating market as the average woman does. We are not, men are not the selectors in the species typically, unless you're like a rock star or, you know, you've got something else under your belt. You're not the selector, so just be wary when girls say, "I always attract this kind of thing," or you tend to attract these kinds of men. No, it's just the ones that they're choosing, right? Let's continue.
And I've said this before in another video, but I'm gonna repeat myself. And I believe that you can meet your partner in two different ways. So one of them being in a great place yourself, you feel good about yourself, you are busy with your own hobbies, your work, school, whatever, and you attract someone that is in the same kind of mindset, same kind of place in your life. At first, that
What she's saying is like, or it's kind of close to the advice that a lot of men will give in this side of the internet, right? Which is, guys, if you're looking for a girlfriend, okay, if you're looking for a partner, um, it's always better to um, put yourself first. You need to be putting your hobbies first, your job, your schooling. If you're a guy in your 20s, you know, um, it, in general, it's just always a good idea to be putting what you need to get out of life first, okay? Because, you know, a lot of guys have realized, like, hey, look, society really doesn't care about men, guys. You've got to be able to rely on yourself. And a lot of guys can attest to that in the comments. It's having independence as a guy is really important. Okay, really important. Um, but you know, when we do that as men, we're not out here trying to seek a girl who does the same, who's an independent, strong woman, right? That's not what we're really after. When we follow that route, right? We want to have a partner who's feminine, pleasant, soft, not all about like business. Not it doesn't interest us, and a lot of the times it comes with masculine traits that are not too interesting to us. But let's continue.
relationship is gonna go really well because you're gonna have a lot of good energy around this, and everything's gonna seem like it's floating along on a sailboat, like on a summer breeze. I don't know. It's gonna seem very easy and effortless, and it's just very lovely, and everything's good. This ooh, I got a message. And that's the way that I met my ex-boyfriend. I've been telling you about this before. I was really busy with my hobbies and stuff. I was in a really good place, and I met a guy that was in the same kind of place in his life. We were both very open for change and new adventures and stuff. So that's what happened. The first, I don't know how, like maybe 6 months were okay, I don't know. The first few months were perfect, really romantic, and everything was great. We only had a lot of good energy. But then we did the big mistake, as a lot of people do. I think this.
I'm just gonna throw in a speculation about this big mistake. It probably had a bit to do with the fact that he changed, or probably that he changed, right? Because a lot of girls. Here's how attraction works, guys. Like, this is one facet to attraction is, you know, girls will be interested in a guy who's doing his own thing, who's, maybe he's putting his job first, he's really passionate about something, he's got some skill. He puts something first ahead of the relationship, okay? But what happens is if you as a man decide to change that, let's just say you decide to make your partner the unwavering priority of the relationship, it's all about what can I do for my partner? Um, how can I help her get through this thing? Because, this came up and this came up and this came up. As soon as you start to shift the order, it causes problems, and girls lose interest. They don't want to be associated with you so much. Like, it's just the attraction goes away when you as a man are not on your grind, not focusing on your stuff, or what you have to be doing, what you're interested in doing. Let's continue.
This is the most common reason why people our age are breaking up. So what we did was since the relationship was so amazing, we focused only on that and forgot about ourselves and our own hobbies, our own friends, our own dreams and goals. And so we just focused on the relationship and build our career on that. We build our we just build our identity on our relationship.
Guys, this kind of language is actually really interesting, because girls will use this language when they're describing a man who they don't want to be associated with so much, right? So I'm going to tell you guys a quick little story. I knew this girl one time, and she was dating a guy who was in med school, so he was studying to become a doctor. And obviously, she was looking at that, thinking to herself, "Oh, that's some security." Um, but the problem was this guy was very socially awkward. He didn't like to go to, parties and stuff like that. He was very he didn't like to socialize. It just wasn't his thing. A lot of the times he was unpleasant. I just think he was uncomfortable. I don't think he was an unpleasant guy. I think he just wasn't comfortable in those situations. But it kind of rubbed off on her because it made her look socially inept, right? And she didn't like that. So when this guy had anxiety as well, and stuff to that effect, and she just didn't like the fact that he didn't like to be out socializing and that he wasn't charismatic. So what started to happen was she would hate how they were always thought of as an item. She would hate how they were always thought of as, oh, you think of her name and then you think of them as a couple. See, women start to have this thing where they don't like to be identified with the relationship only when they're not so attracted to you. If they're really attracted to you, they don't mind. They would love to be known as the girl who's in the relationship with you. If a girl is genuinely attracted to you, she wants to show you off. She wants to put that relationship as a priority, right? Because that's what matters to her. But like I said, when you start to upset the order of putting your stuff first, perhaps you lost a bit of that status, perhaps you lost a bit of the money, whatever she was interested in, then you've kind of got the issue of I don't want to be associated with him anymore. I don't want the relationship to be my identity. But enough waffling, as they say. Let's keep going.
And that is not a good thing, you guys. Cause you're not gonna be happy. You're not gonna know who you are, where you belong. It's gonna be a big, big mess. So that's one of the ways you can meet someone. And just remember that if you meet someone, if you're in a good place, stay in that good place. Keep working on yourself and your hobbies, your friends, and all of that. The other way you can meet someone is the opposite, being in a bad place, and you meet someone and you think that they are gonna save you, they are making you happy, and you depend your happiness on that person. It may seem very romantic, and I see a lot of people do this. They're like, oh, without that person, I would be so depressed, blah, 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 blah. But this is a huge mistake, because
That's totally correct, guys. It absolutely is a huge mistake. I haven't said it so much on this channel, this particular idea right here, but if you're trying to make a girl the object of your happiness, if you're trying to make your partner or a partner in general, you want them to fill a hole in your life you're missing, um, it's going to backfire on you, man. Because people don't like to be, and girls especially don't like to be the focus of your life. As much as they say that they're interested in being that focus, they want to be. They'll always say they want to be the focus of your life, right? But you know, you shift that focus, and you're going to start to run into some real problems. And at the end of the day, guys, like, um, it's all about like placing your happiness in the hands of someone else is not a good idea, right? Because a lot of um, people will throw that away. They'll throw it back in your face, right? Um, you know, so it's always better to be responsible for your own happiness. Work on the things that you enjoy doing. Work on the things that you like to do, and find some happiness in that. But anyway, guys, I think we're going to leave today's video there. In the next video, I have some people to thank at the beginning for your support for the channel. And as always, guys, leave your thoughts, what you think about today's topic. Subscribe if you're new, if you're liking the videos and you want to see some more. And a great way to support the channel is by checking out the Patreon. You can get some exclusive videos over there. So come and join me over there if you're interested. But I will see you boys in the next one. Peace. Yo boys, it's Taylor here. I just want to say thank you if you've made it to the end of the video, and if you've been enjoying the content, be sure to subscribe on your way out, join the Discord, and check out the Patreon link in the description. See you boys in the next one. Talking too much in the garment, they're missing it. Hunting for myself together, we get my composure.